There we go. I think this is
Okay.
it, Pop.
What do you want to know?
Let me first. I want to. I like the way you leaned in. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, take your pants off while we're talking, Pop. The first
While
thing,
we're talking,
all right. Well, why? I didn't realize this was going to be a striptease. But okay. A short verbal biography. Tell your
short verbal.
Yeah, tell your story. All right. Where were you born?
Born in Glendale,
Yeah.
New York.
Which is part of Brooklyn?
Part of Brooklyn. It's close to the borderline of Brooklyn and Queens.
Okay.
And St. Pancras was the name of the church.
Oh, give me a break. There's no such thing as St. Pancras. We talked about that earlier. There is in fact a St. Pancras.
There is a St. Pancras.
Where you were baptized or where you were?
I was baptized.
Okay. And was that in Brooklyn?
And yeah, in Brooklyn, Queens.
Okay.
Glendale area.
Okay. March
14th.
of 1923.
1923, yeah.
Okay. Which would make you 89 and a half years old today.
Yeah.
Today is what? What's today? What's the date?
Today's
September 3rd.
3rd of,
Yeah.
no, 4th.
No, 3rd.
Well, all right, 3rd of September.
Of 2012.
Yeah, 12.
Which would make you 89 and a half years old.
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
And we just spent the day in Broad Channel, which is where you were raised.
Yeah.
And after you were born in Glendale, and you were baptized in St. Pancras, what happened? Did you live in Broad Channel then?
No. Didn't live in Broad Channel until a little later.
Okay.
You got to remember this was during the Depression.
Okay. Well, no, 23 wasn't the Depression.
Big Depression.
No.
Beginning of it.
Okay, beginning of it, all right.
And
what was your dad doing at that time?
he was a salesman and
for the
didn't make
paper?
much money.
For the paper company or whatever?
Yeah, a stationery company.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't remember too much of that area
You were a
because
kid.
you're young.
Yeah.
I guess my first really memories that I had
Yeah.
was in Broad Channel.
And when did you move to Broad Channel?
Probably about 26,
So you were
27.
about 3 or 4 years old?
Yeah, I was 3 or 4 years old.
Okay. Yeah.
And I remember playing in the sand in front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
The bungalow my father bought for $500.
And now that was on 10th Avenue or 10th Street?
11th Road.
11th Road.
Yeah.
23 11th Road.
Yeah, 23 11th Road.
Okay.
It might have been 24 then. They changed numbers later on.
It doesn't matter. The guy you met in the bar today,
Yeah,
he said 23.
23,
Right?
yeah.
Sorry.
And I remember playing with blocks of wood.
Yeah.
Ends of boards that they cut off.
Yeah.
In the sand in front of the house.
Uh-huh.
And that's really the first memory that I had
Okay.
of growing up then.
Okay. Yeah.
And then later on, I remember living there and playing in the back porch
Okay.
and catching killies.
A lifelong love of yours.
Yeah. With a milk bottle.
Okay.
They sold milk in bottles and no containers and
Right.
nothing. And you tied a string on it
Yeah.
and you stuffed the heels of white bread
Okay.
into them.
Yeah. And dropped it in the water.
I dropped it in the water, make sure the air got out of it, and the killies were crazy. They'd go in and eat the bed,
And you pull them up.
and you just pull the ball up. You could always catch a lot of killies,
Of course.
and to me that was a lot of fun.
And they were bait or they were just for fun?
Well, they were just for fun. I wasn't fishing then because I wasn't old enough.
When did you start fishing?
Later on,
Like later on when? Like
and
7 years
it was
old,
funny,
6 years old?
I didn't have a boat then.
Okay.
But when I was probably 6, 7 years old, I used to go down to right where the dock was where we were today.
Okay.
That was McCann's.
Okay, like a hotel there, yeah.
It was a hotel.
Yeah.
and you can buy a bamboo pole
All right.
for 10 cents. And it was about a 10 to 11 foot pole, and it came with a string on it.
Yeah.
And you tied a hook
Yeah.
and a bobber
Yeah.
on it, and
And you caught some of the bluefish we saw
you
today.
did a bluefish, and you took that and you threw that out. So with a 10 foot of string on it
Uh-huh.
and a 10-foot pole, you get out about 20 feet on it. And you watched the bobber went down, you pulled it up, and zoom. You pull these little 8 to 10 inch
Snappers.
snapper blues in.
That's right.
And that was my first experience,
With
you know,
fishing.
really fishing.
So you're like 6 years old?
Yeah, 6, 7, yeah.
Amazing.
And I'd usually beat it with somebody else older
Yeah.
on it.
The Granigans?
Yeah, sometimes Granigans.
Yeah.
But I remember fishing there. They not only fishing off the bulkhead
Yeah.
like they had there today.
Yeah.
They had a dock,
Okay.
and you could get on that dock.
At the hotel, they had a dock?
Yeah, at the hotel,
Yeah.
and you were closer then.
Yeah.
And that was towards the 11th Road Canal
Okay.
side.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I pulled a fish up, and the fish either got off or stayed on, and the hook hit me in the ear
Yeah.
and cut me in the ear.
Okay.
I didn't know it was cut.
But you're bleeding.
I was bleeding profusely. Didn't bother me until the guy next to me looked at me.
I said, "Oh my God, you're
He
bleeding."
screamed. So I had to go home.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
I remember that very
Yeah.
vividly. And I don't know when I first got a boat.
Well, before you get your boat, now let me see. You were the youngest in the family,
Yeah,
so you had an older brother and an older sister.
yeah.
Your
An
sister
older
was the
sister,
oldest.
yeah.
Margaret was the oldest.
Charlie was
Charlie was-
Margaret was the oldest.
Right, and then Charlie,
Charlie and
and
then
then
me.
you, and then you had a little brother Francis who died, right?
Yeah, he died.
When he was like 18 months old.
He might have been a little older than that.
Okay.
He
Of
might
strep
have
of
been
strep throat.
Maybe 2
Yeah.
year and a half. And a chubby baby.
Yeah. Happy baby, you said.
Very happy.
Yeah.
My father loved him. He used to bounce him on his leg.
Yeah. Yeah.
Francis Xavier.
Francis Xavier
Yeah.
Hebel. All right.
Hebel, yeah. And he got streptococcus
Yeah.
infection.
Now, do you know,
And this
at that
was-
time? Did you know it was streptococcus?
I didn't know it then.
Well, you were a kid, but did your parents know it? I wonder.
Yeah, they knew what
Okay.
it was.
Oh boy, that
And they
must,
couldn't do anything for him.
oh my, that must have
Hey,
been
the
something.
doctor who came around to the house,
Yeah.
and they didn't even take him to the hospital. They gave him whatever they could,
To keep him comfortable.
and he choked. It's streptococcus
Yeah.
virus.
Yeah.
It's so easy to cure now with penicillin,
Right.
and penicillin was just being invented around that time.
Like so, a couple of years, a year later.
Yeah. I
That's
think
it.
penicillin was invented right before World War II.
Yeah. But you know, you've told me that story before, and I always sensed a certain sadness from you.
Yeah,
That you said Francis Xavier was this happy little kid,
yeah, he was.
and
Yeah.
and you would have had a little brother.
Yeah, your little brother, yeah. And I was out delivering papers.
Yeah.
My brother had a paper route, I think, and I was helping him.
Yeah.
Long Island Press.
Yeah.
I was delivering the papers, and somebody come up to me right around Knoll Road, right
Okay,
by
yeah.
the church,
Yeah. And NOEL, no, yeah.
and told me, "You better get home. Your
Yeah.
brother died." He was home.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the hospital.
Hospital, but, yeah.
He was home.
So were your mom and dad home at that when he died?
Oh yeah, they were home. Yeah.
What was that like to go home for you?
It was tough. It was tough.
I'm sure it was. What were your folks like?
Yeah.
Were they sad?
Yeah.
And were they crying? I mean, we were dead.
Yeah.
I don't see your dad as a person who cried much.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But it must have been so.
But it was sad. Yeah, because he loved that little kid.
yeah. Yeah.
Everybody did. He was such a happy, chubby kid. He was chubby. I got one or two pictures of
Oh,
him.
really?
Yeah.
I've never seen those pictures.
Yeah,
I'd like to
I've
see.
got some someplace. Yeah,
Oh, I'd like to see them, Dad.
yeah. And I think I was the only one in the family who was scrawny. I don't know how my sister was. I don't remember because I was so young.
She was
then.
pretty scrawny as an
Yeah,
adult.
but I remember my brother was very chubby, robust. I got pictures of him. Like they had a Mardi Gras down here.
Yeah, like today.
Yeah, like today,
Yeah.
and they had him dressed up in like a prize fighter
Yeah.
with gloves on, in a wagon with.
I might have seen that picture.
Yeah, you might have seen that, and he was a healthy looking kid.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
you were skinny.
I was skinny,
Yeah.
and in fact, my aunt used to say, "He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it."
Oh, interesting. Which aunt was
It was
that?
that Aunt Mamie.
Oh.
Aunt Mamie, yeah.
Now, Mamie,
and
Mamie
Margaret,
was.
yeah.
Well, Mamie was your mom's sister.
Yeah, my mom's sister,
Okay.
and also Aunt Margaret was my mom's sister, and she was the youngest of the three girls, and she lived right 2 doors down from us.
Mamie, Margaret, and who else? Who was
And
the third?
Lily,
Oh, Lily.
my mother, Lily,
Your mom, okay.
and she, and what it was, my mother, tried to breastfeed me,
Yeah.
and it didn't work too good.
Okay.
And they found out that by taking oatmeal
Yeah.
and beating it up and then straining it out,
yeah.
they call it the gruel.
Yeah. Gruel. Yeah.
I could keep that down on my stomach.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that kept me alive when the first couple of years
It's amazing to see
until
you.
my stomach got better.
Well, amazing to see you at 89 and a half. You've outlived Margaret. You've outlived Charlie.
Yeah.
You've outlived everybody.
Yeah. But they didn't know much about nutrition then.
Yeah, I know.
Or,
Well, some people probably
or-
did, but yeah.
breastfeeding and
Right.
whatnot. You know.
Well, now after you were baptized at St. Pancras,
Yeah.
where did you go to school when you started going to school?
Well, I started to go to school. I think up in Gates Avenue
In Brooklyn?
in Brooklyn.
Okay,
Yeah, which is near Myrtle Avenue.
Okay, yeah.
I remember going to school. I remember vividly being scared shitless,
Yeah.
more or less.
Yeah.
Walking to school.
Oh yeah, first day you mean?
Oh,
All
many
the time.
days,
All
yeah.
the time. Okay.
You
What
had
were
to
you-
walk across empty fields.
Were you scared because you were by yourself or?
Well, yeah. And there were a lot of rough kids,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
bullies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember coming home one time and I pooped my pants.
Oh, you must have been very scared. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, the kids naturally made fun of you.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you were like what, 5 years old, 6 years old?
Yeah, 5 or 6 years old, yeah.
Yeah. Boy, that's.
And I forget that I don't remember much about the school. I remember walking through it and coming back.
What did you remember about walking to and coming back? What was memorable? The bullies?
About cutting across these fields.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And they had these little holes in the fields, and somebody said, "You got to be careful. You step near these holes, you're gonna go down."
Oh, you gotta go in the holes, right? You go sucked in, yeah.
Well, I don't know what they were. They could have been bee holes or something like
Whatever.
that.
You were a kid, you didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Oh my God.
And they were just weed fields.
How did you do in school when you find, in terms of actually liking school, not so much going to and from school? Did you enjoy? Was it a public school or a private school? Or,
It was a public school. Yeah,
do you remember public school 32? That kind of name?
I don't
You have
remember
no idea.
the name. Of
Any teachers? Remember any teachers?
None of the teachers. No.
I don't either.
I do remember though going to school when we finally moved to Broad Channel.
Yeah.
See, at that time we lived in Broad Channel in the
Summertime,
and
right.
then back into the city in the winter.
Well, now, where did you live? You lived in the city in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
So you had like an apartment in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And a
Gates
summer
Avenue.
And was it Gates?
Gates
Yeah.
Avenue, and there was an elevator right out in front.
An elevated train, you mean?
Elevated train.
Yeah.
We lived in a second floor apartment,
Right by the train.
right you could look out and you could almost touch the train.
Well, the McNamees, when they lived in Brooklyn, they
Yeah.
lived on the second floor, and they had a train.
Yeah, that's right. It was something just like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Now, who were the McNamees?
The whole building would shake.
In relation to you, who were the McNamees? They were your.
That was Aunt Mamie's kids.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And I remember my brother and I had the front bedroom right next to the railroad train. And I remember reading this magazine called Judge,
Yeah.
and you can get old copies of it.
Yeah.
Judge was with I would say it's something like the New Yorker.
Okay.
Had a lot of cartoons in it.
But for kids.
No.
No. Okay.
For adults.
Okay.
And some of the jokes were, I'm sure, obscene.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't know.
Well, and you were. How old were you at that time?
I was just going to grammar school.
Yeah. So like
7,
second
8
grade,
years
third
old,
grade.
Yeah. But the thing is, you got used to the trains going by.
Mm-hmm.
Even the whole building shook every
Yeah.
time they went by. Fortunately, they didn't go by every like
Yeah. Like,
trains now down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Broad Channel. They went by at night when you were trying to sleep. About every half hour,
Maybe you just didn't notice them in the daytime.
and you got used to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Now, during that period of time.
they were called railroad flats.
Okay. Yeah.
Then they were long and narrow,
Yeah.
and the back end of it was the kitchen,
Okay.
and then there was 3 bedrooms,
Okay.
no living room.
Just bedrooms and a kitchen.
Yeah, bedrooms and kitchens.
Well, if you wanted to hang out, you hung out in the kitchen.
No bathroom.
Oh.
The bathroom was outside. You shared with the people who had the railroad flat on the other side.
No, when you said outside. Now, if there was another side, then in the middle there was a bathroom.
In the middle, there
So
was a
people
bathroom.
were close to the tracks, and then there was another side of the building.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, there were two buildings. There were
Okay.
2 railroad flats
Okay.
right together.
Oh, I see.
And in between was the
That's the
bathroom.
bathroom.
And that bathroom took the area where the stairs were.
Who did you share that with? The
Which,
bathroom.
whoever lived in the other
Do you
apartment.
remember who they were? No. When you were a kid?
No, you went in there and you knocked on the door.
Yeah.
Or if the door was open, you went in and
Yeah,
closed
okay.
the door.
How about a shower? Was there a shower?
And no, there was a bathtub.
Okay.
A bathtub in there. And the john and whatnot.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the old water closet up
Yeah,
at
where
the
you
top.
pulled it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pull the thing on it, yeah. It was crude. It was probably like, if you ever saw the movie The Tree Grows in Brooklyn,
Yeah, I read the book, but I never saw
you read the book, yeah, well, they have a movie, and I think they showed pretty much what a railroad
Okay.
flat was in there,
And that's what you lived in?
and that's what we lived in the wintertime.
Yeah. In the
And then-
summertime, you went to Broad Channel.
And then in the summer, we went to Broad Channel.
To 10th Road. 11th Road?
11th Road,
11th
yeah.
Road, okay.
But then at some time we stopped. Probably during when my father started losing business because of the depression.
Yeah.
We stayed down on Broad Channel all year long.
Because on some level, that sounds like having a place in the city in Brooklyn
Yeah.
and a place at the shore, really.
Sure,
Broad
yeah,
Channel,
yeah.
Would be of middle or upper middle class.
Yeah, yeah.
So did you consider at that time that you were well off?
I guess my dad did. He did pretty good as a salesman.
Yeah.
That was the period when he bought a car.
Okay.
My father was not mechanically inclined.
I remember that.
Never should have bought a car. I think it was a 1923 Essex.
Essex.
Essex. That was the name of the car.
Why do you say he shouldn't have bought the car?
Well, he was not mechanically inclined.
Did you have to be?
What?
Did you have to be?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
to
mechanically-
own a car in those days, you had to be a little bit mechanically inclined. And I remember we used to take excursions out on Long Island
Yeah.
on Sunday afternoon drives.
Colorful language.
Sunrise Boulevard.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of traffic and a lot of traffic lights, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing like they have now.
Yeah.
And he would swear at the
I
traffic.
say colorful language from Grandpa.
Very colorful language on it, yeah. And I remember one time, the battery was under the floorboards
Yeah.
on it, and something caught fire.
Oh,
Jeez.
so smoke was coming
Because
out.
of the batteries, and smoke got come on. And it was funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny to him.
Oh no, but it was funny to you.
Yeah.
Was it funny to you at the time?
Yeah, I thought.
Now,
But he was one of the few people on the street that owned a car.
yeah, on 11th Road.
11th Road, yeah. There was, I think the Sullivans had a car. Not the Sullivans, the Stillwagons.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, had a car.
we were talking about them today.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because they had a daughter named Mary who fell out of the car
Yeah.
and was killed. It's a shame. She was
Like on Crossway
pretty-
Boulevard.
No, they were on like an excursion out on the island,
Yeah,
like we did. And he went around the corner, the door opened up,
and
and
she fell out.
poor Mary. And Mary was a pretty red-headed girl, around 10, 11 years old, was killed. Yeah,
So, there was a
they were a big family.
there was a lot of sadness. I think in those times, don't you think a lot of children died?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't like your brother Francis. He didn't survive infancy.
He died, you know.
That what was that
people,
like? Yeah.
People got buried from their homes, and
Okay, yeah,
they didn't have. They had funeral homes.
yeah,
Not many people used them.
yeah. Well, what was the one that we went by today?
Yeah, Hildebrand.
That's been there how many years?
Well, I was there then, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like my father's mother, Dorothy. Dorothy Hebel.
I've never heard of Dorothy Hebel.
Oh, yes, that was my father's mother.
Okay. Who was your father's father? Rudolph?
Well, no, yeah, he was Rudolph, but my father didn't know him.
William Rudolph.
Yeah,
There is a William Rudolph in the when I look up stuff.
yeah. And he died when my father was real young,
Okay.
so he didn't remember him.
Now your dad was born in 1880.
89?
89. Okay. Yeah.
No.
So Grandpa might have died in the 1890s,
Yeah, yeah.
before the turn of the last
Yeah,
century.
yeah, but Dorothy Grunner.
Right.
My maiden name was Grunner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I got a couple, I got a,
Her brother,
yeah.
who was the
her brother was a
Civil War.
Civil War.
We have his
Discharge papers,
papers
yeah.
in the Civil War, right? Yeah.
Heinrich Grunner. But Dorothy was a nice old lady, very quiet.
Yeah.
She dressed with these long dresses,
Yeah.
1,800 petticoats.
Yeah.
And she used to live with us in Broad Channel
Okay.
for a couple months.
But not in Brooklyn.
Not in Brooklyn, no.
Okay.
I never remember her in Brooklyn. I remember her in Broad Channel.
Yeah.
And then she'd go and stay with Bertha, my father's sister.
Okay.
And she lived up in Pauling, New York,
Okay.
which is, at that time, was way upstate. Now it's like a suburb.
Yeah.
And all with the other sister, Julia, who lived in the Bronx.
Okay.
So she'd spend like 3 months here, just moving around.
So Julia was Hebel? No, Grunner? What was her name? Julia?
Julia was a Hebel,
Okay.
but her
Bertha was a
married name was Ludwig.
Okay. And Bertha was a Hebel too?
Yeah, Bertha was a Hebel.
Did she get married?
She married Obadiah Wooden.
Oh my God.
Obadiah. And he was a farmer.
Yeah. From where?
Up in Pauling, New York.
Okay,
Yeah,
New
that
York,
was a
okay.
rural area.
With a name like Obadiah Wooden, it sounds like you should be from the
And there was
Midwest.
a lot of Woodens that lived around that area.
Okay.
I remember going up there one time after the war, I guess it was, or after the war, and going fishing in a creek
Yeah.
with Elmer Wooden. And you want to? This was strictly hillbilly.
Yeah.
Elmer Wooden brought with him fishing
Yeah.
with a cane rod,
Yeah.
a jug,
Of
a
what?
ceramic jug
Of what?
of booze.
Of moonshine. The moonshine.
Probably
He make it
moonshine.
himself, right?
But I got a picture of him fishing.
Why have I not seen these pictures?
Well,
Where-
they're around someplace in one of the books.
Yeah.
But he blends in. He's like he's camouflaged. But he was good with that. He knew where to catch.
He was a good fisherman, yeah. Well, you learned a lot about fishing.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, would he be somebody that you learned fishing from?
Yeah, I learned a little from him.
Who did you learn the most from?
Oh, mostly from Uncle Harry, who lived down.
Harry Hebel?
No, that was Rootling
Oh,
Chauffeur.
Harry Rootling Chauffeur.
Well,
Okay.
his name was Stumpf, but he married a Rootling Chauffeur.
Stumpf.
He married
Yeah.
my grandfather's, my mother's father's sister.
Okay.
So he was my great uncle.
Great uncle.
Yeah, and she was my great
Now,
aunt.
his great uncle Harry, he was the painter?
Yeah, he was a painter.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, he was a character too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what did you learn from your great uncle Harry besides fishing? Since he was a character, curse words.
Yeah, he was very crude.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Language, you learned some
Yeah,
language.
yeah.
Yeah,
And he was I wouldn't say he's a pedophile, but he was, I guess, close to being.
He enjoyed younger people.
Yeah, young girls,
Oh, younger girls. Okay.
and he probably young boys
Really?
too.
Yeah.
He never bothered me.
Okay.
But a lot of times coming back from fishing,
Yeah.
it was hot.
Yeah.
He said, "Let's stop and go fishing."
In the nude.
Yeah.
But that wasn't that uncommon then, was it? Was that very uncommon to do that back then?
Yeah.
Oh, it was, okay. Yeah, great Uncle Harry.
Uncle Harry.
Everybody's got to have an Uncle
He was,
Harry.
he was a good fisherman. He was,
Yeah.
he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
And Aunt Hannah
Yeah.
was a prude
With Harry's wife?
wife.
Okay,
Yeah, Hannah. She's a prude. She disapproved of his drinking.
Yeah. I suspect she disapproved of a lot of
A
things.
lot of things. Yeah. She was a very neat person, though. A good cook.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have gotten her recipe for pickled eels.
I wonder why. Why don't you have it?
I don't know.
Who would have it now?
Yeah, I don't know who would have it now. I never thought of getting it,
Oh,
but
so-
every now and then I'd catch an excess of eels.
Yeah.
I'd bring over the small ones for her,
Yeah.
skinned,
Yeah.
and give them to her, and
Yeah.
she would make up
Pickle.
pickled eels.
Yeah.
I could almost figure out how to do. You had to use gelatin,
Yeah.
onions,
Of course.
bay leaves,
Yeah.
and some other stuff, and into
Vinegar?
Jello.
How does she pickle them? Vinegar?
Oh, you cut up the eels in little pieces and
Yeah.
you boil them.
Okay.
You cook them that way.
Were they good tasting?
Oh, yeah, they were delicious, yeah.
Yeah. So you really liked pickled
I
eels.
liked them, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
She used to make them. She was funny.
what?
we used to go over there, my mother and father, and Aunt Margaret, and Grandpa, and Harry and Hannah
Yeah.
would there, and they'd play pinochle or cards at night.
Yeah.
And I'd come along
Yeah.
and sit doing something.
What would you do?
Yeah, read.
Okay. Did you like to read when you were younger?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What did you read, like novels or kid stuff? or,
Kid stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't
What was
remember
it? You used to turn me. You turned me on to some author at some point when I was pretty young, and
Yeah.
you loved. He had jungle stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Who was that?
yeah. Paul Duchalou. Paul Duchalou.
I don't remember that.
He was a Frenchman. I
Yeah.
got his name written down.
Yeah.
He was a Frenchman, and this is true. He grew up around the late 1800s,
Okay.
before the 1900s, and traveled to Africa and lived with the natives over there.
But that doesn't.
And he wrote about the birds and
Yeah.
the bees and
Yeah,
the gorillas
yeah,
and
yeah.
whatnot. Yeah, I've got a collection of his books.
I don't remember Du Chaillu as being the name of the
Chaillu,
person.
Paul Du Chaillu. You can look him up on the internet, I bet.
Oh, absolutely. At this point, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of your values, Dad, when you were raised, you know,
Yeah.
when you were a younger boy,
Yeah.
how do you think your values were formed? I mean, was it the church? Was it home? Was it friends?
Church and home, I guess. Yeah, there's a combination of the two.
What? I mean,
You know,
yeah.
of being honest
Okay.
and not hurting people. You know.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And if you had any dealings with them, you know, to make sure that you were honest in the way
Okay.
you dealt
Yeah,
with
yeah,
them,
Yeah.
and to do your best.
And when you talked about church,
Yeah,
now we were talking about it today earlier. You were at St. Virgilius.
yeah.
When did you start going to school at St. Virgilius? You were in elementary.
Almost the first grade.
First grade, okay.
Yeah.
So you went from first through eighth grade in St.
Yeah,
Virgilius.
first.
Who were your friends when you were in elementary
Oh,
school?
a lot of them. Johnny Rossi
Okay.
lived around the corner.
Yeah.
I used to go fishing with him.
Yeah.
Owen O'Reilly, the
Okay.
one that we saw.
Yeah.
Freddie Mean, he was in my classes.
Meehan, okay, yeah.
Now, Canary,
Yeah.
I think he was in the class ahead of me or behind me, either one.
Right.
But he had a sister, Ruth, I think,
Yeah.
that was in my class.
Okay.
A pretty good blonde girl, but she had, I found out later, when she graduated and later on in life,
Yeah.
mental problems.
Yeah.
And I think
You
she's
didn't notice
dead
that when
now.
you were a kid, right? Yeah.
What?
You didn't notice that when you were a kid.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Hadn't thought of her in a while, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And I'm trying to
amazing.
think of some of the other. Oh, Sigadel.
Sigadel.
Yeah, Sigadel, a blonde girl that
Okay.
was in the class.
Yeah.
Her dad owned a hardware store. And who are some of the other ones? Buckheit.
Buckheit.
Buckheit,
Okay. Yeah.
German name.
Yeah.
He was a nut. No, he was a mental case.
What's because of his name?
He was a
right?
mental case even then.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know whatever happened to him.
Well, there's a lot of mental
Yeah,
cases.
yeah.
Who knows in those years?
Yeah.
What did they do with people that had mental illness
Yeah,
back in those
yeah,
days? Did they have hospitals? They
Yeah.
had places?
Oh, yeah. And then there was Eddie Lawringer. He was a rich kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie. It was funny. Let's see. How did it go? He got heavy in the wintertime.
Yeah, he needed to have some more weight.
Yeah. He was. And then in the summertime, he lost weight. And he lived down near where Freddie Mean lived.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know what his father did for a living, but he must have made money.
Yeah.
Of course, Eddie Lawringer had the biggest collection of Big Little books. Big Little books
Yeah.
were books that were about yay big,
Uh-huh.
and that's it.
What-
They were comic books.
What made him? Why did you call them Big Little books?
Because they looked like big books because they were thick,
But they weren't. Yeah. Okay.
but they were only about that big. He had a whole wall full of them.
Big Little books.
Big Little books. And Eddie Lawrence, and nobody knows. I know after he graduated from high school, he became a beer salesman. And that's the last I ever heard of whatever happened to him.
When you were a child, you seem, and as an adult, it seems to me you had a lot of curiosity for things, how things worked.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
what drew you to engineering, perhaps.
Yeah.
How do you think that developed?
I don't know.
Did you remember as
Some
a
of the
kid?
people around me, there was a guy up the street that played around with motors,
Uh-huh.
and I always went in there
Uh-huh.
and watched him tinker and stuff like that.
But you thought that was pretty cool? or
Yeah,
what?
yeah. And then there was a guy on 13th Street. Well, I was a little older than, maybe about 13, 14.
Yeah.
He was taking an old Austin Austin car. Austin was a small car.
Yeah, yeah.
And had a small engine in it.
Yeah, yeah.
But they fit nice in a boat. And then he'd find them or buy them and get them and pull them apart and put them together again and put them in a boat. And I thought that was great.
Yeah. So you like watched him or
watched him and helped him and whatnot. Yeah. Would have loved to have done it. You had to have little money to buy the thing. I didn't even have little money.
But I wonder if that had influence on you after you got out of the service in terms of why did you choose engineering as opposed to?
I guess in high school.
Yeah.
There was a guy I used to meet in Red Kimmons' place.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about that today.
Who was a chemist.
Okay.
And he was very interesting to talk to.
What was his name? You remember?
I forget his name now. Yeah. But he was considerably older than me.
Okay.
But he turned me on to it. Yeah. And then when I went into high school, I had a couple good science teachers and chemistry teachers.
Yeah.
That helped me a lot. Yeah.
So they saw your interest and they helped you.
Yeah. So that's what I figured. That he said, "Don't become a chemist. If you're gonna if you like this, become a chemical engineer."
Why do you think he said that?
He said because of money.
Okay. So the engineer would make more money than the chemist.
Yeah. He said the engineers make more money than the chemists.
Okay. But when you graduated from John Adams High School, which is what year was that?
41.
41. So the war was going on.
Oh yeah, it was starting to go on. Yeah. I knew I was going to go in the service.
So you did know, but you didn't go right away at 41. You went to Brooklyn College?
At the end of 42.
But you went to college for a year?
I went to college at night.
Brooklyn College?
Brooklyn Polytechnic.
Brooklyn Polytechnic, okay. So you had already, Polytech, you had already decided to become...
Oh, yeah.
Why? Now, you went at night because you were working during the daytime?
I was working at Simpson's Nut and Bolt Factory on Franklin Avenue in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And that's what they made.
Yeah, nuts and bolts.
And rivets.
Yeah.
But it was called Simpson's Nut and Bolt Factory.
Yeah.
And it was, I guess, typical of a factory. A lot of machines.
It was a job.
It was a job.
And what was your life like?
I'd go in there and I'd work, and then from there I'd go right into school.
So you had graduated from high school by that point. What did you do for social life and stuff like that?
Oh, down Broad Channel.
Okay.
Go to the bars.
Okay. So you went to
dances.
Okay. So you had dates or it was a bunch of guys and a bunch of girls?
Guys and girls.
Yeah.
We used to birthday parties were big.
Okay.
Yeah.
And everyone had a birthday party. There was
a
birthday
party and then go to somebody's house and somebody would sneak a bottle of wine.
Yeah. So I guess that's a universal. It always happens.
Yeah.
But it's because the war was going on, 1941 and 42, and you were going to Brooklyn Polytech. When did you decide to go to the service?
Oh, I knew I was going to get drafted.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that was just a matter of time.
Yeah, it was a matter of time. I was turned 18, I guess, in what year was that?
41.
41, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I knew that's why I went up and I was talking about today.
Yeah.
Of watching the airplanes from Floyd Bennett Field dive bombing out there.
Well, you got interested in
flying.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
Now, were you out? Now, when you watched those guys dive bombing, were you out fishing in the bay at that time?
No, just out riding around. Yeah.
So you had boats from a young.
Yeah. I had boats by then.
But you made boats when you were a kid, didn't you?
Well, no, I got one boat from my grandfather.
Mm-hmm. Your grandfather?
Because
which grandfather? Rooney Chauffeur?
Yeah, Rooney Chauffeur. He won a boat in a raffle at church. A nice rowboat.
Yeah.
So he had a rowboat. Yeah. He gave me his old rowboat. and then I got another rowboat. I forget how I got the other one. So I had two rowboats.
Yeah.
Then.
You had a nice relationship with your grandfather.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was a grouchy old guy,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he was good mechanically.
It's grouchy old guy. He's named George. He's good mechanically. Sounds familiar to me.
Yeah. But I wasn't named after him.
Okay.
I was named after one of my mother's relatives, George Hicks.
Hicks. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I didn't realize that. I thought you were named after George.
Yeah,
Williams.
yeah.
So then, so it was just about wartime.
Yeah.
Did you wait to get drafted, or did you sign?
No, I went down to sign up.
Oh, that's right,
I
yeah.
said today.
Yeah.
And I passed. I didn't pass. I passed the mental test.
Yeah.
I didn't pass the physical test because
Because
my teeth didn't meet right. For,
And that was
for the Navy.
For the Navy, okay.
And I went right up the same day to 40 Rector Street and
Okay.
signed up for the test. It wasn't the next day.
Yeah.
A couple of days later, I
Yeah.
took the test
Yeah.
for the
Army Air.
Army Air Corps.
Yeah.
And I passed both the physical and mental.
Your teeth were okay.
Yeah, my teeth were okay. and they swore you in right away.
Okay.
But you didn't go into the service right away
I wonder why not.
because you didn't have room.
Okay. That must have been.
That was in October.
Yeah. Of
I
41?
didn't really go in until January, I think,
Of 42.
of 42.
Okay.
But my service record says from October of 41.
Yeah, yeah. So now when
Or
you
42, I don't know.
when you went in, I think you're.
Yeah,
Let's say it's 42.
Yeah, I
And
went in.
you knew you were going to be a pilot.
Well, I wanted to be a pilot. There's no guarantee.
Right.
You went to basic training,
Okay.
Atlantic City,
Yeah.
and then from there down to Greensboro, North Carolina,
Uh-huh.
and then you got sent to like what can I say? Where they classified you,
Okay.
and they give you all kinds of tests.
Yeah.
Because I knew there was one test on depth perception.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one guy who happened to be a skier
Yeah.
from Lake Placid.
Okay. Yeah.
Devlin, his name was.
Okay.
Yeah. His depth perception was great.
Yeah.
So they made him a bombardier.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be a bombardier.
Right. But he had great depth perception.
Yeah. But I passed all the other tests, and then you go to flying schools, primary and basic, and it was primary was 2 months,
Yeah.
and then basic was 2 months.
They was at all different places, though, right? Different places.
Yeah, different places.
What
yeah.
was it like from a kid from Broad Channel to go to all these different places?
It was great.
So you like being out of town?
You were seeing a part of the country.
Okay, so you like that part.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I like that part.
Because some people probably didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And at the end of basic, depending upon how your flying skills were,
Yeah.
you went to a single engine advance
Yeah.
if they needed fighter pilots,
Yeah.
or a twin engine advance
Yeah.
if they wanted to be bomber pilots.
Uh-huh.
So the guys that were good flyers went to the single engine.
Right.
Thank God I went there.
Yeah. Well, you must have been a good flyer.
Oh, well, I had
Yeah.
good coordination. I
Yeah.
could fly.
Yeah.
Good. And my friend Raymond Haig,
Yeah.
he wanted to fly P-38s.
And they were.
P-38s, a twin-engine airplane.
Yeah.
They were mostly located on the West Coast.
Okay.
None on the East Coast. So he said, I'm going to go to twin. He was a good flyer, too.
Yeah.
But when they came to the decision on it, he said, I want to go to twin engine.
So they made him a.
I tried to talk him out of it. I said, you're not going to get into P-38s.
You're going to be a bomber pilot.
And that's what he became.
Yeah.
And he didn't make
He
it.
didn't make the war. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
what's left of him is down the bottom of the Adriatic Sea Ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. He was related to Mayor Haig
Of Newark?
Jersey City.
Jersey City, okay.
The Haigs.
Yeah.
And
Well, you had a lot of. I mean, you were talking about that today with the guy who was killed in a flight and chasing cows in Florida.
O'Reilly.
Yeah, Owen O'Reilly, right?
Owen O'Reilly,
from Broad Channel, because you look down that list,
Yeah.
everybody was killed overseas except for him, Florida.
Yeah.
And so you must have lost a lot of people back then.
Yeah.
That must, as a young boy, that must have been tough, I would think.
And,
You didn't think about that.
no.
I wonder why.
Hey,
Yeah.
you took your chances.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like playing the lottery.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the same thing as the guys that go over there now.
Yeah.
I'm
Of
sure.
course. Yeah.
That's why young people make good soldiers.
Well, that's why.
Because
Because they don't.
they feel that they're immortal.
Yes.
They're not going to die.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen to me.
That's right. I'll be fine.
Yeah, and they'll be fine. But, in the back of their head, they're saying, well,
Yeah, maybe not so.
maybe not.
Oh, this is great, Pop. Now, how did you develop your love of the water and fishing? Just by growing up at Broad Channel?
Yeah, growing up in Broad Channel, I used to love to just ride out in the rowboat
Yeah.
and just ride around. Didn't have to do anything,
Yeah. Now, did you ever get scared? Did you ever fall in? Did you ever have any kind of
No,
dangerous-
I used to wonder what's down below.
Yeah.
Are there any big fish that are going to come after me or something like that?
Yeah. While you were in the boat? Or
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like, don't you wonder that while you're swimming?
Yeah. No, I did not too much. Only rolling around.
Who do you think were the influential people in your life? Let's say as a young boy, who were the influential people?
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people, some
Local people.
Yeah,
You talked about some of them.
Yeah,
How about in working? You went to college
yeah.
on the GI Bill after you go. No, we haven't even talked about the service, but after the service, you went to college on the GI Bill at RPI.
Yeah.
What had you go to that particular school?
Number one, I wanted to get away from New York.
Okay.
I'm afraid if I stayed around New York,
Yeah.
I would get influence in the attitude down on Broad Channel, bar hopping and whatnot. Yeah.
So you'd spend a lot of time drinking and not so much time working.
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured it'd be good to go away,
Yeah. Okay.
drink away,
That's smart. That's smart. Okay.
and this way you stayed with people that were a little older than you too.
Why RPI?
Because it had a good reputation,
Okay.
and it was fairly close,
Yeah.
3 hours by train,
Okay.
and I met a lot of nice friends there. And we did a lot of social drinking too. But there were always people there that that watch out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Older students.
Students. Okay.
Yeah.
There were a lot of the students there returning from war.
Yeah, there were a hell of a lot. Yeah.
Now, I don't remember when they passed the GI Bill, but it was.
I don't know. It was before I went. I know.
Oh, it was
that,
before you
yeah.
went. Okay. So it was in the 40s, maybe, or late 30s.
Yeah.
So that allowed you. Now your dad didn't go to college, right?
No.
But your brother Charlie did.
He went to college on his own.
Okay.
Not
with the GI Bill.
Well, yeah, I guess on the GI Bill. Yeah.
How about Margaret? Did she go to college?
Yeah, but before the war, not. She went to college to get a nursing degree.
Oh, she was a nurse.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea Aunt Margaret
She was a registered nurse.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew Lila is.
Yeah.
Now, was Lila and Margaret related?
Lila's Margaret's son.
Margaret's daughter?
Is Margaret's daughter.
So okay, so then
Yeah.
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
And then her daughter, of course, is a doctor.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. That's a medical side of the family.
Yeah. And Lila was very smart.
Yeah.
She taught nursing,
Yeah.
and my sister never taught nursing,
Yeah.
but she was a pretty good nurse on it.
I'm going out to L.A.
One of her patients, she did a lot of what do you call it, like geriatric,
Yeah.
taking care of old people.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the name of the author. I can't think of it now.
Well, what kind of books?
Novels.
Okay.
Out in Long Island someplace.
So she took care of somebody who was a good author.
Yeah, good author, yeah. And well, if I mention the name, you know it right away.
There's so many, it's hard to come up with it. I have no idea where to go.
Yeah.
You got to give me more, Pop.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now. Yeah. That was her most famous patient. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm going out to L.A. in November, so I'm
Yeah.
going to try to look. I'm going to see if Lila's still out there.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure she is.
Yeah.
I'd like to just stop and say hello to her.
Yeah, say hello to her. I email her now and then.
Yeah. I'll do that soon.
Nothing political.
No, it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Lila and I are on the same level.
Yeah.
She and I can talk
Yeah.
politics. You stay away from it. Both of us.
Jokes now and then.
Yeah, jokes are fine. The humor's okay.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, I'm getting tired.
You are? All right, let's take a break.
I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna lay down and go to sleep.
I'm going to get a break. Let me see if we can. I have no idea how to stop this thing.